Okay, so followers are still a thing in Legion, not necessarily in quite the same way. If we look at the evolution of the follower when they were first introduced in Warlords of Draenor, I actually quite liked the fact that you were gathering followers as you leveled up. But what a lot of people didn't like was the fact that you were constantly having to send them on missions, especially in the early days when you needed to level them up. And some of the missions only lasted like half an hour, so you were very much stuck in your garrison from that point of view. This shouldn't happen. I mean, I've got to level 108 on my paladin. It's not the one we're looking at here. And I've only got one follower still. It's the follower, like you can see with the Death Knight here, that you get at the end of your artifact quest. At the end of the starter quest, you get a follower who may be a character you know, who may not be. Then you're invited to send said follower onto a mission. That part of the game isn't implemented in alpha yet. So at the moment we can't send them on missions, so we're not clear exactly what those things are. Also, the missions are supposed to be more interactive than ours. Rather than just sending followers off to bring us shiny things, it's supposed to like get us quest items that open up quests for us to do. But that's not in alpha yet, so I don't really want to comment too much on that. Now, another thing you can do with your followers is you can ask them to accompany you when you're leveling in on the Broken Isles. Now, it doesn't mean to say that they're with you all the time. It's not quite like the bodyguard trait in the followers currently in live. What it means is, with the one follower I've asked to do this, I haven't asked my followers to do this on other characters yet, but on my paladin, for example, he's a tank character, and what will happen is, in his case, whenever you are fighting 2 or more mobs, he will appear and he will tank for you. And then after a certain amount of time, he will just fall down dead. Got nothing to do with his health, it seems to me. And it's 5 minutes when he appears. It's 5 minutes before he can appear again. You have no control over him appearing, though. He just does it when a certain condition is met. My experience with the tank follower is not necessarily ideal. It seems great because, you know, it means they'll tank the stuff for you and you can hold on to it. They're not invulnerable, so you can't take on like stupidly tough mobs. There is a downside, though, in that they will pull everything. He does this massive AoE taunt, and I mean massive. I think it's zone wide. And he will just pull everything into you. So if you're going to be in the habit of having a tanky follower like this, and you're in an area where there are lots of mobs, even if you're only intended to pull one mob, I would go for AoE talents, because you're going to need them. So if you don't really want that, you're going to have to ask him if he wouldn't mind, after all, sodding off and staying here. And then you can you can fight in crowded areas a lot more safely. So that's what's apparent about followers in Legion so far. We know that they've been trying to scale it back. We know that people have been positive in some ways about followers, but negative in so many ways. And I think, as I say, going back to the evolution of it, that's where they're going. Obviously, when Warlords of Draenor first came out, we had loads of followers. We sent them on loads of missions. We did loads of things with followers. Say, I quite liked, a lot of people didn't. Then they brought out the shipyard, which no one liked. It was universally panned. But, you know, you could see what they were trying to do. Far fewer followers. We have like 10 ships maximum. And you just send them out on missions like once a day. You can hang about. There are some short missions, but you don't have to. So what they're obviously trying to do with this, judging by what's come out at BlizzCon and judging by what's in the alpha at the moment, it looks very much like you'll have a few followers, not loads. And you won't even need to send them on missions even once a day. You can just not go to the order hall for several days. Then there'll be a few for you there. Sort them out, send them all off, and you don't have to check back on them for a few more days if you don't want. To the point where we're only popping back to the order hall now and then, either to sort our artifact out or to sort the missions out, which will take very little time. That's what Blizzard have said is the intention. We have to wait and see, of course. But there's nothing. I mean, it's not like you're picking up like 5 followers a zone certainly anymore. I have 1 at level 108. Okay, so that's what we know so far. I will update as soon as more is implemented. Until then, I'll see you later.